Good afternoon. My name is Filipe Costa from the University of Minho in Portugal. Thank you very much for the invitation and for this opportunity to show you our ventures into auditing of DNA sequence reference libraries. To this end, we will show you today two approaches: the hackathon on marine invertebrates, a collective effort involving many researchers, and an application that we developed called BAGS. So why should we audit reference libraries? Reference libraries are the foundation of DNA-based identification systems. We know from previous talk by Anna Weigand that there are currently some limitations in reference libraries due to existing gaps in some taxonomic groups. But for a variety of reasons, we can also find a number of taxonomic discordancies, misleading records, and these can compromise the accuracy of taxonomic identifications, therefore also compromising the applications that rely on these reference libraries. Therefore, it is fundamental for us to develop systems to audit the reference libraries. Identification errors are not new in ecological studies. This interesting paper from 2008 provides a number of examples of the detrimental consequences of taxonomic misidentifications in ecological studies, and of the possibility that these errors propagate as error cascades across studies. With the introduction of DNA in ecological studies came greater confidence on the accuracy of the taxonomic identifications, and this is very positive development, and it works fine when the data sets are short, so that there is a bigger chance of spotting any inaccuracies. However, with the introduction of high-throughput sequencing, a single study can produce massive amounts of data, and for that reason the taxonomic assignments are usually automated and frequently unsupervised, which means that this greatly increases the errors of these error cascades across biodiversity databases. Errors may occur at different stages of the barcoding pipeline, from specimen collection through DNA barcode production and then data publication. Initially, some data standards were implemented for quality assurance purposes, like the barcode keyword in GenBank or the barcode complying flags in bold. Just a few days ago, some metadata standards were also published by the DNAquanet Consortium for reference libraries for aquatic life. These quality assurance standards certainly help to reduce the occurrence of errors along the barcoding pipeline from specimen collection to barcode production. But at the post-barcoding phase, there is no comprehensive system to audit the taxonomic accuracy of the published DNA barcodes. A notable exception to this is the RCIS diatom, a curated database for diatoms, but other than that, there's no comprehensive system implemented for metazoans in general. One possible approach for post-barcoding data reviewing is to assemble a group of researchers involved in DNA barcoding and have them annotating and reviewing a particular dataset. In this case, we organize an hackathon for creation of data for marine invertebrates in the scope of 8th IBOL conference in 2019, an effort led by Adriana Radulovici in the front of the picture and supported by DNAquanet, and also with the precious assistance of BOLD staff. With this hackathon, we wanted it to serve as a pilot experience, and this model could eventually be exported for other taxonomic groups if it's successful. We also want to make an appraisal of the status of general status of the reference libraries of marine invertebrates, and to have a sizable number of records annotated. Here we provide an overview of the approach we followed to prepare the data for the hackathon. We've started by collecting all animal species names from the World Register of Marine Species, and then we compared this with the BOLD database. This way we were able to retrieve only data from marine organisms, and we split this data in 10 datasets to be analyzed by the researchers, comprising over 80,000 DNA barcodes. We use then the BOLD tools, bin discordance, and the neighbor joining tree to create the documents for the researchers to analyze and annotate. In this image we can see the distribution of species, beans, singletons and discordant beans by the different taxonomic groups that we examined, the Bivalvia, Gastropoda, Crustacea, Echinodermata and Polychaeta, and these were the groups that it was possible for us to examine due to their relative accessible size. The crustaceans were split in these 4 orders described here. And overall, it was quite a large number of species, over 7,500 species that we analyzed, corresponding to more than 8,400 beans. And it is notable, in particular in this graphic, the high proportion of singletons, that is, species with only one sequence. And these were around 40% of the records in all groups except the Crustacea. Also highlight to the high proportion of discordant beans, 22%, and also to take note to the fact that the Gastropoda were by far the dominant group here, with nearly 4,000 species examined. Next, we proceeded to the annotation of marine invertebrate records. We used 4 different tags as they are described here. The MIS-ID tag for misidentification, mislabeling or cross-contamination. The AMBIG tag in those cases where with the current data it was not possible to resolve the discordance. The complex tag for the cases of species occurring in multiple beans. And of course, this is a possible indication of hidden or undescribed diversity. And also we used the share tag for the cases where we knew from existing literature that these species are known to share DNA barcodes. Okay, so here we have the global results of the hackathon with the distribution of the various tags among the species we examined. As you can see, as much as 39% of the species received one of the 4 tags. This is a fairly high number, but ones that really cause concern regarding the accuracy of the identifications are about 24%, which is still a very high number, and these are the misidentified and ambiguous cases. We must keep in mind that the ambiguous cases could not be resolved with the currently available data. So they may include some misidentified specimens, contamination or other errors, but in part they may also be a reflection of the uncertainty in the taxonomy of various groups of organisms, as we will talk later. Finally, it's also worth note the considerable number of species with multiple beans, 40%, that may indicate a fair amount of hidden or undescribed diversity in this group of organisms. When we see the distribution of tags by major taxonomic group of marine invertebrates, we can see that there are important variations in the proportions of these tags among the groups. By far, the Gastropoda are the group with a major proportion of ambiguous species, about 50% of them. And probably within Gastropoda, this is a result of lots of ambiguity in groups like Littorinimorpha and Nudibranchia that had a major contribution to these ambiguities. We can also see a high proportion of species with the complex tag in all groups, but some of the groups like Crustacea and Polychaeta had over 50% of complex tags. Thanks to this hackathon, we have now a general assessment of the status of the reference libraries for marine invertebrates. We noted a pronounced variation in the levels of congruence across marine invertebrate taxa, and it was particularly salient a high proportion of ambiguous species, which raise obvious concerns, but the incidence of these ambiguous cases was particularly high in groups like the Gastropoda. We also noted that a good part of the ambiguous records were not necessarily driven by errors in the data records, but mainly by the uncertainty and the underlying taxonomy of certain groups of marine invertebrates, so more alpha taxonomy research is needed in those cases. As a pilot experience, the hackathon involved a massive amount of work. We did analyze a very large amount of species and specimen records that were reviewed and annotated on the positive side. But this experience could hardly be implemented in the same format because it takes too long to process all of the data. So other initiatives should beforehand facilitate the data preparation and reduce the data to be revised. And this can be accomplished by using automated systems that can interpret somehow the obvious discordancies, the most obvious discordancies, and thereby reducing the amount of data to be revised by the taxonomic experts in future hackathons. We move now to the second part of this talk, where I will show a different approach to auditing and annotation of reference libraries. Our efforts initiated in 2012 with the development of a ranking system considering 5 different annotation grades, and this was applied to marine fish but could be actually applied to any animal. In the meantime, the barcoding text numbers were implemented in 2013 in BOLD. So we updated our system to include beans, and we extended its application to a larger data set of European marine fishes. Anyway, both approaches were based on manual visualization and verification of the data records, and we had to move on to an automated system that I will show you next. Therefore, inspired on the previous systems we now developed an automated system called BAGS for Barcode Audit and Grade System. The informaticians behind it are João Tadeu and Pedro Vieira, and we also had the valuable contribution from Torbjörn Ekran and Pedro Soares. The main features of this first version of BAGS are that it's an automated annotation system. It was developed using R. It's fully based on BOLD data and uses beans as the reference OTU delimitation method. Currently, it's only implemented for CO1 and metazoan data. And there is a user-friendly implementation and design, and this enables researchers with little or no informatics skills to use BAGS without any difficulty. So here we have an overview of the main structure and components of BAGS. The library selection is made by the user either through the introduction of selected taxonomic groups or through the use of a user-provided species list. We introduced an optional filter for marine taxa using the World Register of Marine Species, so the user can select either marine taxa, exclude marine taxa, or use all taxa in this selection. Then the program proceeds to mine the data from directly from BOLD systems, and this includes also some filters for minimum size, quality features, and ambiguous characters. Then the auditing and annotation is performed on this collection of data, and 5 different annotation grades are used that I will describe later. Finally, the user has access to an organized output where the DNA sequences in FASTA format are sorted according to the annotation grades, and there is also a graphical visualization option that facilitates analysis of the results. BAGS 5-grade annotation system is implemented through testing the congruency between species and their respective operational taxonomic units, in this case barcode index numbers or beans. Each species in the reference library is assigned one of 5 qualitative grades as follows. 2 grades annotate concordance. These are grades A and grade B, which indicate that for one species name there's only one exclusive bean. Difference between A and B is that in the first one there are more than 10 specimens in the library, and in the second one 3 to 10 specimens in the library. Grade C annotates records where for one species name there is more than one bean, and all of those beans have only that particular species name. Grade D signals insufficient data, meaning that there are less than 3 specimens of a particular species in the library. And grade E signals the discordant species assignments, meaning that for one bean there's more than one species name. Here we can see the home page of the BAGS web application, which was developed using Shiny and then customized and formatted using HTML and CSS with the purpose of having a web application with a user-friendly design. This first page has a general overview of BAGS, the workflow and the grades, and then the users can use the Taxa for Auditing tab to submit their reference library for analysis. Here you can see the Taxa for Auditing window, where the users can select the taxa they want to analyze, and this can include or not marine taxa at the criteria of the user. And also the user can opt to use a species list, and he can upload and then analyze the taxa that is in that particular list. In this figure we can see the results of the BAGS performance tests that we conducted on marine amphipoda, on Chironomidae and on marine fish. We confirmed that it is possible to quickly screen large reference libraries using BAGS, namely in this case over 8,000 species and 100,000 records. The differences in the distribution of grades is very obvious among these three libraries. Amphipoda and Chironomidae outstand by the low representation of many species that were attributed an annotation grade D. Chironomidae also outstands for the high percentage of grade C species, therefore considerable hidden diversity suggested in this group. And in marine fish there is a notably high proportion of discordant beans. In order to better understand the origin of such large number of discordancies, we plotted the number of species per bean for all grade E cases. As you can see in these graphics, the beans with numerous species occur with some frequency, particularly prevalent in marine fishes, and with some exceptional cases like this one where one single bean has 88 different fish species names. Many of these cases are related with species complexes which still have uncertain taxonomic status, and that they contribute quite a bit for the high proportion of grade E cases. We also conducted an individual inspection of a subset of grade E cases in order to find the different plausible origins for the discordancies found. As you can see from this table, the great majority of the cases are misidentified specimens, but there is also a fair proportion of ambiguous species names, like the one exemplified here. In addition, we also find a fair proportion of synonyms in marine fish. As final remarks, it is important that we recognize the need for development of both barcoding, auditing and annotation systems. This should be automated for most part and eventually human mediated in the most difficult case. At the first glance, it may seem that there are too many misleading records in marine invertebrates, but in fact we find out that in most part these reflect insufficiencies in the alpha taxonomy of certain groups of marine invertebrates, so more efforts are required in alpha taxonomy research. Reference library users can also have an important contribution to spot and annotate misleading records, to help reviewing the status of reference libraries, in particular for their target taxa. And a good opportunity is also to use the species list derived from your DNA metabarcoding studies, upload it and check it in BAGS to see if there is any species discordance. We are in the process of considering the development of BAGS 2.0, which we want to include some sort of automated revision of discordant cases, and looking at things like obvious misidentifications and synonyms, try to discard those, and also implement some tools to spot phylogenetic misplacements. Finally, we also want to explore the potential of machine learning, artificial intelligence to help refining and improving these automated systems for auditing and annotation of reference libraries. Finally, I would like to thank Adriana Radulovici and all the participants in the Hackathon on Marine Invertebrates, the organizers of the 8th IBOL conference for hosting us, DNAquanet for the support, and Bolt staff also for their assistance. My thanks also to the BEX team, and a special thanks to the DNAqua conference organization for this invitation, and thank you all as well for your attention. Thank you very much.